And welcome back to Flexible Games, where we are playing Minecraft. All right, last episode we built the reactor, and we got this thing up and running step by step. And if you are playing along at home, you should have this thing ready to go. Again, the base is 7 by 7 and it is 5 tall. So it is time for some turbine action. So, how many resources does this take? Oh, wow, does this take a lot of resources. So, turbine housing. We want 4 stacks. Turbine housing. Lots and lots of resources go into this. So, yeah, you're gonna want to make sure to craft quite a lot of stuff. And all of our auto crafting right now is going along pretty well. So that's done. 1, 2, 3, 4. I want just 1 stack on my hotbar, please. We don't need servos. We don't need super laminar. And let's see. Let's do 2 turbine fluid ports because we're only going to make 1 turbine. This reactor can support 3 of these. But we don't have the cyanite or the resources to do 3 at the moment. So we're going to need to cut back a little bit. We need 1 rotor bearing. And let's see. I want like, I don't know how many. I need the turbine controller. I figured it was 3. So we need some plutonium. Need a couple of those. There's your turbine controller. Now we need 14 rotor shafts. We need the 32 ludocrite. There's the 14 shafts. Now we need 80 blades. So yeah, this is, you know, a lot of resources that goes into these. So fully understand if you need to go mining to be able to do this. So there is 1 stack. There is the next.
Or have a friend.
Yeah, or have a friend do it for you. And then the coup de grace of all of this, we need just 1 flux power tap. But the big draw is the glass. We need like at least 4 stacks of glass. Lots of glass goes into this, which is plenty of resources. It's a lot. It's a lot of resources. This is why I wanted to craft up. So I crafted up 2,000 iron before we started this process. I'm down to 109. So literally like 2,000. I don't know how many I had when I crafted the iron, but yeah, we've used almost 2,000 iron for this process. So we should have just a little bit more glass left, and there it. A little bit there. Oh, 1 more. Give me there. There it is. So 4 stacks. We may need to tweak how much we're using here or there, but this is generally what we want. And I want that extreme wrench back in my inventory. So let's go back with this first. It'll leave the flanks for another day. I'm hoping we have enough space here. We may not. So in general, the turbine is the exact same width. So it's 7 wide. It is 7 tall. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's a little taller than the reactor. And that will come in handy in a bit. So that is the frame of the... you can go ahead and throw the rotor bearing smack in the middle of that square. So you can see that square right in the middle is your bearing. And then your fluid ports go on the side. Now, rather than memorize the arrows, you just need to match the colors. So that's a blue, that's a red. So that red matches that red, which is perfect. And we need to swap that to blue. So that works really well. Okay, that is your general height size. And how long is this? Well, it's 16 blocks long. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Look at that, right up to the edge. Nice. So again, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We should be lined up with the edge, just like that. So yeah, fill in the bottom. And then we're going to want 7 in tall. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then obviously the outside frames. Just like the reactor, you need the edges to be the casing. And then pop that there. Fill in the back wall. Like so. And then you want to fill in the bottom. I mean, you don't have to fill in the bottom. You can build this up in the air. You can put this as glass too. But I do think the back needs to be solid. Just, I think that is something that the mod author changed. I'm not sure. I know I tried to do it with glass, and I think it kind of gave me an error or a warning or something, and I was like, oh. So let's put some light up in here, just so you guys can see. Okay, so the front here is ready for glass. This is basically all you need except for the power tap. So we're going to pop that right in the middle. And we're going to go on each side of this with the turbine glass. And that is the front. And obviously glass goes on the edges. But before we do that, we've got the rotor shafts. So if you place one of these, it looks like it places wrong. Just place another one. It'll flatten out. It'll straighten out. Because you can build these in any orientation. So it doesn't know what your intent is until you build another one. So we're going to bring all of these back like so. So that is the, the drive shaft, so to speak, of the turbine. Well, what generates the power for this? Well, that is the coil that goes in the back, and that's what these Ludicrate blocks are. You can use lots of different materials back here, but the best is this bright pink magenta Ludicrate block.
Of course it's the best.
Well, yeah, of course, it's pink. And so 32 of those, it's 4 deep and 8 around. That is what basically generates your power. And as steam is pumped in, well, you're going to need turbine blades to actually capture it. So again, the blades place really wonky at first. They flatten out when you place the opposite side. So you can see placing the opposite end flattens them out. So you don't need to worry too much. And there's exactly 80 of them. So those interested in the nitty-gritty details of this mod, each individual blade can support so much steam per tick. 80 of these can support 2 buckets of steam per tick. And that is basically the way that these work. Now, the math gets really kind of weird when you take into account many other variables. But basically, this design is set up to be as efficient and you know, power awesome as possible. I don't know how you would say that, but. And then last one there is the basics. Now, what's left is the glass. A lot of glass. There's over a stack of glass on one of these sides, and we'll see exactly how much more is. Okay, so 22 left. 8, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 6 more than one stack on one of these sides, just FYI. And you don't have to have glass either. You know, you could fill this in with solid blocks. You just wouldn't be able to see the turbines, and the whole point of this build is to be able to see the cool turbines spinning up. So I do have one more. So yeah, I'm going to have a little bit extra. So the 4 stacks, you don't need actually exactly 4 stacks, but it comes close. The last part is the controller, and I think I'm going to change this up a little bit. I'm going to put the controller up here next to the. So I want all my controllers to be up here so I can see them all. So I'm going to pop that and put the controller down here. Usually I put them down in the corner, like down here, but I'm going to put it up there this time because I'm a rebel. I'm going to do things a little differently. So if you did it right, placing this last block should again basically finish the multi-block off. Yoink, there it is. It is now an official reactor and turbine setup. So one thing you want to do is you want to do the turbine, and you want to activate turbine. That should like change the shading on the blades, but there's nothing going into it right now. And we don't have anywhere for the power to go. And this thing is actually full, which is kind of surprising. So we want a way to send power out. We're going to use a quantum entangle porter again. And yeah, we're going to be able to send power out of this. Now, one of these turbines takes a while. Once you turn it on, it takes a little while for it to spin up to speed. So just be aware that it's not an instantaneous thing, and we need a way to move power out of it. Well, I am going to try to automate. Do I have any automated? See, I don't have any automated ultimate pipes. So this ultimate universal cable can transfer 448,000 RF per tick. Well, we're going to want one of these. And this is an elite universal cable to ultimate. So we want to, do we have any cable? We don't have any cable at all. So we're going to do universal. Let's type it right. Yeah, they're really hard to see up here because of the background. If I do like a lighter background, maybe. Let's do a white background. So you can see them up here. Universal cable. They're really, really hard to see. But we're gonna try to get these. So basics, steel, and those don't do much at all. Yeah, 4.48 thousand. And then advanced. Well, can we see? We don't have any. Well, yeah, we're way back up here. That's awesome. Okay, so now we should be able to do advanced. And now we should be able to do elite. And finally, ultimate. Because we're going to use quite a few of these. Why did this... Why are you... Why do you not like me? ATOM. Huh, there we go. I don't know what that was all about. That was strange. AE acting strange. Okay, so we're going to actually want some of these ultimates. Let's get like 10. I think it'll craft 16. But yeah, we're gonna go up here, and we're gonna say that goes up, and like no, let's do it like one more out. Wrench, please. Thank you. I want to be able to walk under here, so let's go one more up. I want to put this right in the middle, because we're going to have another turbine here and another one here, and this is kind of a central place. So this is going to be power supply, but instead of supply, it's going to be input. So all inputs eject off. Connects, good to go. Turbine is up. It's time to fire this baby up. Activate reactor. As you can see, the water fills up. The casing heat and the core heat, don't, you know, I would not pay attention too much to those, because when you don't have all of the turbines up, it's a little more inefficient. But as you can see, the turbine is actually spinning up now. And it's not an instantaneous thing. So if we go into the turbine, right now it is accepting 2 buckets per tick of steam. That is literally the max that it can have. It can't, a turbine itself can't get more than that. So this build with the 80 blades basically is the most steam that you can process. Building it bigger really doesn't do you very good at all. You can disengage the coils, and it will start spinning up faster. So if we look at this, rotor speed of the rotor in revolutions per minute, obviously RPM. Rotors perform best at 900 or 1800 RPM. But speeds over 2000 RPM are overspeed and may cause the turbine to fail catastrophically. This turbine, the way that we built it, everything is good to go. All 3 of these, once they're built, and make sure you re-engage the coils, because it's going to spin way up. It's going to spin up faster without the coils engaged, and the coils are those ludicrate blocks back there. They cause drag on the rotor. So what it does is it takes in steam, puts out water, which that's what those fluid ports are for, and it starts spinning this up. And your RF will go up the closer it gets to 900. And once it hits 900, then you're pretty much max power for that RPM. Once it passes the 900 and goes a little further away, your RF is going to go down for a little while. But then as it approaches 1800 RPM, it's going to go up really fast. And this turbine tops out. Let's re-engage the coils. We're already at 42,000, 43,000 RF per tick. Already almost double what that thing can put out over there. Once this hits 50,000, that's double what that thing can put out. This thing will top out at about 1781 RPM. So it'll be, you know, up here. And it'll top out at about 105,000 RF per tick. So times that by 3. So it's 315,000 RF per tick from this setup. And once the other turbines are in, this reactivity, which is basically efficiency of the turbine, this actually goes up to about 480%. So it is very, very efficient. Fuel usage, once the turbines are in, it goes down to about 0.11 millibuckets per tick. But for now, it's using a little bit more, so we're getting a little bit of more cyanide out of it. And then the casing heat and the core heat will actually drop the more steam you use. Because right now we're only using 2 buckets per tick. With the 2 more turbines on, that goes up to 6 buckets per tick, which from everything that I've seen is about the max that a turbine can, or a reactor can actually produce. So this design, 3 turbines of 1 reactor, is actually exceptionally efficient. And you can just sit and charge stuff, power stuff all day. So with this now running, one thing we can do is we can take the last 2 energy and last 2 speed upgrades and hop over to our digital miner and pop those in and see just how much power this thing draws. Now that we have, oh, I overshot. Let's go to upgrades and let's do the last 2 speed or energy and then speed. And let's see what we're at. Why did this not update? I put the speed in there. This didn't. Oh yeah, I did. It was like 12. Now it's nearly 22,000 RF per tick. So if we would have put, if we would have put those upgrades in before we built that reactor, it would have drained our entire system out of power. That would have been good. But look how fast it's mining now. It's about a block a second, roughly a block a second that we're pushing out here, and it's actually digging all that up from below. So when it's done, that this copper will disappear because it does it chunk by chunk. So it starts off in one chunk and digs all the way up to the top. It starts at the bottom and goes to the top. Then it'll switch over to another chunk and do the same thing. So it's not like, it doesn't do it layer by layer. It does it chunk to chunk. So it's all good though. So yeah, now we're able to mine really fast. Which is weird that this is not putting out too fast. This should be ejecting a little bit faster than this. I don't know why it's not. There we go. Okay, well, it works. It's all good. And yeah, good times. We are now on reactor power. I'm gonna fly over the chickens here. I actually added eggs to my dev null. So I have an upgraded dev null.
Seriously?
And I added eggs to it. So
it's a lot of eggs.
Because yeah, I was picking up eggs every time I would fly around because we have just chickens everywhere. And I was kind of sick of my inventory filling up. And we have some bean action over here. Holy cow.
All of the beans.
All of the beans. So that is now a good system. We have a reactor and a turbine. We are happy. So yeah, a lot of this power is actually going to waste. Obviously, this buffer is full. Everything is full. We don't yet have a giant battery that we can actually store that power to use, whenever. And like I said, our power is actually, is started to crawl back up again. That's good. So yeah, this will top out at 105,000 RF per tick. And yeah, see, rotor blade efficiency, 100%. So rotor blades can only fully capture energy from 25 millibuckets of fluid per blade. So there's exactly enough steam going in there for the exact number of rotor blades. And yeah, it's a really good design. I highly recommend it. And once you build the other 2 turbines, just like this one, only on each one of these sides, you will have substantial amounts of power that you can go forward and do good things with. Mainly like do void mining and all sorts of good stuff. But that will have to wait for another episode, and that will do it for this one. And I thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.